Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is LaToya Ebony. If you're new, I do all things hair and hair related. And in this video, we're talking about 4 things that people with 4C hair should know. And number 2 is probably the most controversial. Let's go. Number 1, learn how to do it yourself. Let's just put the cards on the table where they are. Going to the hair salon as someone who has natural hair that is highly textured, and if it's dense and has some length, oh, you're gonna be paying out the pocket. The costs to get your hair done at a natural hair salon are just exorbitant. It is so much money. I definitely recommend learning how to do it yourself, but there is another reason. Now, I grew up in the hair care industry, right? And I've seen a lot of things. And one of the most common things that I've seen is that there are so many artists out there, stylists out there, who are more concerned with the end result of the hairstyle than the health of your hair. And that could be for a number of reasons, you know, like stylists, they're artists. I'm sure they want it to look a very specific way, but it's also customer service. And, you know, I think that a good artist for me is someone who will be honest with me, who will let me know when something can and can't be achieved, for how long, if it's the healthiest options, and really will keep my goals in mind as they are moving forward, even if that means denying service. That is a good hairstylist. But these days, hairstylists, especially after the pandemic happened, I mean, everyone is just short-staffed, overworked, and many times, especially during busy seasons, they're just trying to get you in and out the door. They want to make their money, they want to make their tips, and quite frankly, when it comes to hairstylists, cosmetology school, you know, they make their money off of altering your hair. Whether you have curly hair, you want it straight, you have short hair, you want it long, you have gray hair, you want it brown. I mean, that is literally how they make their money. And it would behoove them to have that at the forefront when they are trying to make a living for themselves. But it is so difficult to find a hairstylist that you can rely on, that does a good job, and your hair is thriving in your area. So I say learn how to do it yourself. Even if you have a hairstylist that is amazing, you still need to learn how to maintain your hair in between those hairstyles. And I always say that the more knowledge you have on your own natural hair, the better you can educate this person, especially, you know, this hairstylist. When you're sitting in their seat for the first time, you can speak intelligently about what you want, what your goals are, and you have an idea of what you can and can't do. So I say learn how to do it yourself. And there's a bunch of information on YouTube, including my channel, that shows you how. So subscribe. Now, my second one is the hardest for me to talk about, and also is probably the most controversial. And of course, it depends on your point of view, but even in this day and age where 4C hair is widely celebrated, or I should say natural hair as a whole is widely celebrated, I do sometimes feel that celebration of 4C hair is performative. Why do I say that? Why is that my impression? Oh my God, I can see the comments now. As I've said, natural hair is widely accepted, but I do believe that there is quite a bit of texturism that happens. And even when someone is celebrating 4C hair, I kind of know their true thoughts when they start to bring it back to themselves. It's a little projection happening sometimes as well. This is what I mean. So many times I'll be in a setting and, you know, people would say, "Oh my God, I love your hair." Boom. We love that. Thank you. I love it too, you know? And then it immediately goes to,
"I couldn't do that because kinky hair is just so hard to take care of. It doesn't look good on them."
da 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 da. And at the forefront, it looks like, oh, they like it on me and just not on them. But as they start to go down the list of all of the reasons why they are uncomfortable with it, it very much to me gives, well, how do we put this? I feel sometimes it very much gives
You are the exception to the rule because it actually looks good on you and you've been willing to do this, but in general, this hair type is atrocious and I wouldn't even know the first thing to do.
And I would say, like, in those instances, I do give grace. You know, there was a time where I remember like my ego feeling so deflated when someone told me, oh, it looks like you have hair like me, 4C. It was like a comment. And I was like, what is 4C hair? This is like 2010. So the information just wasn't out there in that way. And I remember like looking it up, being like, that's my hair, and being gutted about it. Because all of the things that I ever heard about, you know, coily, kinky hair is like how unmanageable it is, how undesirable it is, your attractiveness goes down, how you're less likely to be hired. I mean, there were just so many things. And I think that there is still a huge learning gap. I think that there's still a lot more to learn. Let me move on to number 3. Curl pattern is not texture. So as people are talking about how unmanageable their hair is, etc., I started to realize that a lot of people really confuse curl pattern and texture. And this is gonna happen a lot. And if you're new on your natural hair journey and you have hair that's similar to mine, you may be sort of in this bucket of not understanding as well. So curl pattern is a single strand, and you know, the pattern of the strand. Is it wavy? Is it coily? Is it curly? How, you know, if the diameter of the curl is very small or very large, that's the actual pattern of your hair, right? Actually, if it's a spiral, if it's a wave, if it's straight, those are really the 3 main patterns. Now they will kind of vary in size and length and all of that, but those are really the only 3 things. It's either straight, wavy, or curly, right? And texture is more about what your hair looks like as a whole. And so you can have a very cottony texture, but really have like type 3 hair. Your hair can be very wiry and silky looking, and you can have 4C. So I always recommend the LOIS hair typing chart. I will link my video all about that down below, and there is a PDF that you can download if you're interested in comparing and contrasting and figuring out like what your hair is. Anyway, we're not gonna get all the way into that, but I have found that if your hair, anybody's hair for the most part that has curly hair, if you brush it out, it is an afro, right? It's an afro, you know, and many times people mistake like afro for being 4C. And that is not the case. That is not the case at all. I think it takes a lot more like educating yourself and also kind of removing a lot of biases to really get down to the root of it. Though I will say that the hair typing chart is very flawed. Just because you find your hair unmanageable in your experience does not make it 4C, 4A, 3C. It doesn't make it anything. It's really more about educating yourself and figuring it out, or just saying the hell with the damn chart and finding products that actually work for your hair regardless, right? The healthier and hydrated your hair is, the better products will work. This is something that I feel like doesn't get talked about as often. I think that, you know, being a product lover myself, I may talk about a lot of products. I see other people talking about a lot of products, you know, and you know, companies, they will push products on you. And, you know, it's a little confusing because you're thinking, well, the products are supposed to help my hair be more manageable. But the truth is that it's a symbiotic relation, and they both go hand in hand. If I'm not taking care of the basic needs of my hair, like shampooing, conditioning, wrapping it up at night, making sure I'm getting my trims, etc., make sure I'm clarifying my hair and getting that buildup off every now and again, it's gonna be a lot harder. It's gonna make it a lot harder for products that otherwise might be great for my hair to do the work that it needs to do. For example, when you are cleansing your face or when you're doing your nighttime skincare routine, you gotta wash all of the makeup, all the dirt, grime, whatever of the day off before you put your serums on, before you put your moisturizer and things on, because with all of that stuff on your face, the serum, it doesn't have the ability to really seep into the skin and work to its best abilities. The same thing is with our hair, okay? we gotta wash it. We gotta clarify it every now and again. It's a hard conversation to have sometimes because I think many of us are under the idea that the product itself will make your hair better instead of, you know, us taking our hair routines very serious and being consistent and helping those products help us. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like I just like mangle that up a little bit, but you know, do the basics, okay? And that will be a really good litmus test of whether products will work. But the cleaner, the healthier your hair is, the better your products will work. Now I said that there was only gonna be 4 things, but I'm gonna share what, 1, 2, 3 bonus tips. I'm gonna go through them real quick. Ready? Bonus tip number 1, watch out for combs and accessories that have seams, that have little pieces that can snag onto your hair. You guys know when you go to put on a headband and you go to take it off and your hair snags, watch out for those. I definitely recommend sticking with elastics that don't have any metal on them, combs that are meant for natural hair. I will link some down below that are well made, hair clips that are well made, headbands that, you know, maybe have like a silk or a satin finish. You can do some of the riskier things, but you're gonna have to be careful. Just very gentle. Bonus tip number 2, watch out for hard water. I've mentioned this in another video, but depending on where you live, especially in the United States, I can speak to, there are many areas in which the water is very hard. There are a lot of minerals and bad things, pollutants inside the water, and it ends up right on your hair, building it up. So, you know, investing in a chelating shampoo that will get those mineral deposits off, clarifying shampoos that will help get those minerals off. Also, a shower filter may be very helpful as well. And bonus tip number 3, don't go too long without shampooing your hair. Wash your hair. I remember when I was younger, there was this misconception that dirt grows hair. Dirt does not grow hair. Dirt is just dirt, okay? What grows your hair, what helps you maintain length is low manipulation. So not too much brushing, combing, protective styles can help as well. But having a clean scalp will only help you, okay? Less dandruff, less gunk, less buildup. And when your hair is clean, your products can work better, so please shampoo your hair. I shampoo my hair at least once a week. I highly recommend it. My hair is thriving. I have a full playlist called Hair Regimen, a hair regimen playlist that has 1,000,001 wash routines for you to look at. I will link that down below. And that has been my videos, my observation. Let me know what you think. Has any of these things struck home for you? Do you disagree? It's okay if you disagree, just be respectful. If you agree, please share your experiences. That's my favorite part about having a YouTube channel is talking with you and having you guys share with each other. Especially that number 2. I don't know. Like, I know it's not everybody. Not everybody's performative about it, obviously, but I don't know, because the most popular image in the world for beauty right now, it sure ain't curly, kinky hair at the moment, so. Anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye, see you Monday.